Tonight I'm going to show you how to do the swamp event. So the first thing is how to find it. So you're going to come to the El Frago Temple, and then you're going to go to the next map that's to the left. So walk west over this bridge, and this is the event map here. So the monsters spawn all over this map. It's quite widespread. So just find a place to hunker down, and a banner will come up when it is ready to go. Now, one thing I will explain is the drops at this event. So there are a couple of rare drops. The first one is a weapon. So you can go item, rot whip, and it'll bring up the information for the rot whip. So it's a very basic weapon, but it's quite rare. As you can see, it drops from the tentacles as well as the boss here at the event, and it's most likely to drop from the boss, but there are way more tentacles, so you're more likely probably to get it from one of these. And the other item that drops here is the rot mask, which is quite sought after. So that one only drops from the boss. It's a 10% chance. Now, the easiest way to get it, because you're competing with so many people here at this event, is to use your lucky charm to get it. So if you go to your lucky charm here and you type in rot mask, you see that your chances go up to 20%, and that's personal for you. Now, I don't believe that the rot whip can be charmed. Oh, it can. Okay, interesting. That one goes up to 20%. And again, where it drops from a multitude of monsters, you're much more likely to get the rot whip. Now, when it comes to the strategy for this, again, similar to pirates, there are several waves of monsters before the boss arrives. You do have to kill the boss in order to complete the event and get the rewards, which are XP as well as 3 event coins. The first couple of waves don't hit too hard, but of course, if you're a new player, you're probably going to want to use range and not to take too much damage. Whereas if you're a larger player, you can use your sword, and for you smaller folks, stay behind us. Now, similar to Pirate Event as well, I will say that depending on which time zone you're on, you may find one event is more crowded and therefore easier than the other. So if you are on a North American time zone, your morning, or if you're on the Australian Asian time zone, your evening may be more difficult because there are less players online. So as long as you guys manage to kill the boss, you will get the rewards. The evening for North America and the morning for Australia and Asia usually have a lot more players, and so it's less difficult. Now, at the same time, the boss does hit pretty hard, so if you decide to tank that thing, you're probably going to want some pots or quite a bit of armor. So the event is going to start momentarily. I believe, yeah, 1 minute here. You can see in your upcoming events when it is going to start, as well as what the rewards are. So this one is 32,000 experience, as well as those 3 coins. Now we get this banner about a minute and a half before it starts, so people have time to arrive. And also similarly to Pirates, a lot of players will party for this event. Now, unlike Pirates, there is no quest for killing these monsters, so you don't really need to party. However, it is nice to get that extra experience, and you'll see that here when I did Pirates, I got lots of group XP as we shared kills. So it's not a bad idea, especially for small players, just to pick up on some extra experience. Okay, so we are just getting the banner now, and you'll notice that down in the system it says you are eligible for the reward of a Swamp Swarm. So again, similar to Pirates, if you die or if you DC, you still will get the participation rewards as long as you hit at least 20 times, and that's if you moved around. If you just sat on this map, then you will still get the rewards, as long as you have participated fully in one event, and that means 20 hits at level 15 or above. Okay, so we got the first banner there for Swamp Monsters incoming. Of course, first we're going to get the logo pop up with the skulls, and that lets us know that the first wave is coming. That should happen momentarily. The first wave is all just minions, and they aren't too difficult to kill, but there are quite a few of them, so it can seem a little bit overwhelming at first. Okay, so here we go. So we get this logo. I think it flashes about 8 times, so we get a bit of a warning here. And then here come the mobs. Now they do drop quite a bit of gold, so this can be a good way to farm it. Especially if you're a newer player and having difficulty with that. Well, they also drop fragile leathers. And I believe that the boss also drops soft leathers. Now, one nice thing about all of these events is that you get player ghost, which is fantastic because otherwise you'd be all over each other. And you'll notice using my mini map up there in the corner, all these red spots are mobs. So they really do spawn all over this map, every corner. So once the entire first wave is cleared, then we'll get this logo again. And then the next wave spawns. So as you'll see, the first wave has a few, and then there's another spawn, quite a few more. So just keep that in mind. Don't let them surprise you, sneak attack up on you. So all of these vines that I'm killing, they do drop the Rot Whip, although it's quite rare. So hitting as many of these as you can, even if you hit one time, you're eligible for the drop. So you can just go around with your bow and you could hit each of these vines one time. And if a Rot Whip does drop, then you're eligible for the drop. That's very helpful when your lucky charm is completely charged because you can just hit as many of these as you possibly can, and each one is a chance at getting it, which is like 20% chance. Increases your odds the more you hit, and again, it's just one hit. Okay, so after that last one, I think we have another wave finished. And this third wave is where the boss spawns, but like pirates, you're going to get a spawn of the minions first. And then the boss spawns about right here where this one is. So I would suggest staying away from that area because he does hit hard, and if he sneaks up on you unexpectedly, he may kill you. Plenty of people have lost their life here in that scenario. Here we go. So that's him. That is the Swarm Lord. Alright, so if we can all group up. He does have a lot of HP, but as a group, he's fairly easy to take down. Like I said, it's much harder if there's a lot less players, so depending on your time zone, you may find it more difficult. There we go. Okay, so tonight he dropped Eons, not an item. And like the good folk we are, we always say congrats to whoever got it. And you'll notice there's There's a lot of mobs. This is a big map, and in order to clear the event, you need to kill all these, so... And I'll show you these two up here are usually the ones that people miss. And so we'll often be standing around in a circle going, why hasn't the event ended? And it's because these ones up at the north have not been killed, so keep an eye on those ones. And that is it. We defeated the Swamp Army. That's another event finished. Thank you for joining me for a Swamp Swarm. As you can see, 32,000 experience, and I got 3 event coins from Pirates and another 3 from the Swamp. So that's 6 total today. Alright, thank you for joining me.